So some New York City teachers got told on to the FBI. Hey everybody, this is Tom with Tom's Talk Show. And just going around browsing around the internet, picking up on different stories. I found this one that says New York teachers who refused to be protected had their information sent to the FBI. So this basically it's a HIPAA violation, right? You cannot, you can't send any medical information that's yours and all that. And if you do notice that I'm a bit sunburnt today, that's because I was out at the racetrack. We were there's this thing called Sick Week, and people come out and race. Even, yes, that is a Ford F-150 at the drag strip. They come out and race all kinds of different cars and stuff. And the thing about Sick Week, it's there are like drag races every day for the whole week. And for you to get to the next race, you have to drive your car that you're using on the drag strip to the next place. So you see a lot of cars driving along that there's the car and there's a trailer behind it that has all their tires and everything that they have to switch out for when they get onto the drag strip. So it's a pretty fun event, but countless hours out in the Florida sun, and of course you get a little sunburn, but I'm dealing with it, of course. So here we have this thing. It says, okay, people are being tracked. 1,950 Department of Education employees had been fired for declining to be protected, and now that information has been sent to the FBI. But I thought, according to this fact check, that they weren't doing that. We weren't being tracked or found out about or flagged in any way. It says there is no evidence that these codes are used to generate lists of people who are not protected for purposes of sending them to camps. Okay, so they're getting very specific. You could say, yeah, by signing up for, a driver's license, you don't, some obscure, if you didn't sign up for your driver's license on Thursday, then you're not, alive. They're going to play with words, Yes, of course this is correct. It's not for the purposes of sending them to camps, right? Potentially. I do have a video about them building camps, so I'll link that down below, and converting different bases and things to camps in the United States. So that'll be listed below in the description below. So take that for what it is. But this is back on, of course, November 18th, 2021, this whole fact check. So now what do we see? Oh, special bulletin, new ICD-10 diagnosis and procedure codes effective April 1st, 2022. And what's the first code there for? Oh my goodness, it's for unprotected. It's to flag you for being unprotected. So, and then they have other subcodes here for whether you're partially vaccinated or some other vaccination status. And then you have also what type it was. These are subcutaneous, intramuscular. I think this is like mouth and pharynx. So this is something you take. There's upper GI, some type of farsanamid. Who knows what that is. And so there's these different types of things. They'll actually marking what kind that you had. Notice there is no flag here. There's nothing here at all for natural immunity. It's been shown, that natural immunity is pretty good, for all this stuff. So I would think that we would want that as a code, right? But this was in effect April 1st of 2022 last year. So the fact check has obviously been, fact checked now as being wrong, that yes, there is a special code, and it's in, there's several different things. Everybody's taking this from CDC, Center for National Health. All these things is where these codes are coming from. So the unprotected may be assigned when the person has not received at least one protection agent. Wow. So then partially, so I don't know why there isn't a fully, I guess there is. Okay, so that's weird that I just realized. Okay, so there's no fully protected code. There's other, there's partial, and there's not. So apparently, going forward, I think the plan seems to be here to continually tell people that they're not protected. Well, your codes here say you're other, and there's a new one, so you need to get that one. Right? So that seems to be, from my take on what this is going on. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what to do or anything else. I'm only pointing out that here there is a code that is tracking whether you're protected or not. Right? That is it. So then this right here says, new Zeke, we're not tracking you at all. Then here it says, the new Z codes are for tracking purposes only. We're not tracking you, but these codes are for tracking you. So, yeah. We'll see how far that gets. I'm sure some states, some of this might be challenged in some states as to whether it is, these records all need to be sealed under HIPAA rules, that nobody has access to these, that they can in no way be used to, like they were saying, like generate a list, the problem is, once they have all this information for tracking, is that all that the government has to do is declare an emergency. And then that supersedes many of these rules. So, and that's what kind of happened, is like, well, who's doing this and who's not doing this? And, HIPAA rules and general rules about, doctoring is to do no harm. Patient needs full disclosure about what's going on, before taking any kind of drug. If I go and take a blood pressure drug, I want to know everything about it, right? I want to know backwards and forwards. What are the side effects? What are the long-term, issues with taking this drug for, kidneys, liver, all these different things, that you can do, that happen when you take all these different drugs and stuff. So I need to know all that, full disclosure, right? So because there was the emergency, that full disclosure didn't get put forth. I mean, we didn't, it's like, no, you just have to. And so, that's always my worry, that they can just, we need to be able to back that out, right? The government needs to be, the House and Senate need to be able to take that, that emergency needs to only be in effect for so many days. But, but when you have, the presidency and the House and Senate under the same, party, then it gets very difficult to do. But we need to have a way to, if the president declares some kind of emergency within, I would say within 15 days, I mean, at the very most 30 days, that needs to be verified and ratified by, Congress. And then potentially put forth quickly before, the Supreme Court as to legalities and whether you can do those things or not, right? So I think this is just to be aware time of what's going on and that these things are out there. I don't know if there's a way that you can go to your doctor, go to your healthcare provider and say, ask them, are you doing this? And can you remove that from my record? Just erase it from my record and not have it be there anymore. I mean, maybe that's a lawsuit that will come out eventually, that people will have the right to go and do that. You have the right to go and see what's in your medical record. I think you should have the right to be able to expunge something in your medical record that is not needed or is information you don't want in there for privacy. All right, here we go. Thanks for watching. And what do you think? Are we being tracked? Is this for a higher purpose of putting everybody into prisons, into camps? I mean, I don't think it's gonna get there right now, but who knows? They were doing it in Australia. So how far is that away from the United States? Don't know, but what do you think? Thanks for watching. Take care.